Well, it is very controversial, and unless you've been living under a rock, you will have heard about it. It's Trump's Board of Peace, and why are Western countries not involved? The board's membership largely includes Middle Eastern nations, alongside leaders from outside the region who may be seeking to curry favour with Trump. Israel is a member, but there are no Palestinian representatives included. Now, whether Israel has given the £1 billion, which is apparently the starting fee to join a billion, not a million, a billion. Other members include Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Qatar, Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates. From elsewhere in the world, there's Albania, Argentina, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Bulgaria, Cambodia, El Salvador, Hungary, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Mongolia, Morocco, Pakistan, Paraguay, Uzbekistan, and Vietnam. If you can remember all those, they've all given $1 billion to join Trump's Board of Peace, which, of course, I find the whole thing a fucking joke. Trump is, of course, the life president of that, and he can veto anything in that Board of Peace. He is the boss, out of question. It's a bit like if the United Nations have been doing their fucking job over the past, well, since the beginning of the United Nations, but particularly in the last 20 or 30 years, there would be no need for this. It would be an embarrassment. And by the way, this Board of Peace continues, and he's the chairman of it for life, even after he, becomes not the president of the United States after the next, well, he probably would lose the next election anyway. We'll see in the half terms. But anyway, right at this moment, he's also got enough on his plate for the High Court in America has just come down as a ruling saying that his tariffs were illegal. He's completely ignoring that by saying, I don't take any notice of that, and I'm going to put a 10% tariff on the rest of the fucking world or something. I don't know. He doesn't. Lawsuits they bounce off him like, a bullet off a Kevlar armour-plated glass. It's quite extraordinary. This man is an extraordinary individual. I mean, I don't know how he works. Some things are working for America. To my American colleagues, I mean, are they? Is everything really hunky-dory? Is he making America great again? Or is he making America a bit of a laughingstock? The way he's treated the Europeans, of course. Over here, we go, what the fuck is going on? He's done something, though, that I agree with. He's made NATO wake up and smell the roses and spend more money on defence, which we should have been doing because we relied on America for so many years to be our umbrella. And under a Trump, could you rely on America coming to your aid? I don't think so. I think you'd be very unwise to do so. And by the way, Slava Ukrainians, they're in their 4th year now, so they're coming into their 5th year of this terrible conflict with Russia. And when you look at Ukraine at the 4 years ago to her military now, much stronger, much more capable, possibly one of the most advanced militaries in the world, and her drone technology is up there with the best in the world, if not the most efficient, because it's battle hardened, it's battle tested, it's being used every day, and they're getting smarter and smarter. I mean, the war should have been over literally as this special military operation, as Putin said back in 2022. It'll be all over in 3 days, he said. That was never going to happen. But 3 weeks, and here we are in the 5th year, longer than the Second World War went on for them. The number of people that have passed away and been killed on both sides, millions. We'll never know the numbers. Remember the fog of war, hence the reason I don't tend to pontificate about Ukraine and the war, because there are too many other fucking experts out there who go on about it. And they don't know any more than you and I do. The fog of war is thick with bullshit. And the AI out there, you look at a video today and you look at it and you go, is that AI? It's so clever, and it gets smarter every day. Cleverer every day, I was going to say, but that's terrible English. And I don't know whether to believe it or not, but all I know is that on both sides, millions of young men have lost their lives. And I feel sorry for the mums and dads of them on both sides, by the way, not just the one side. But Russia did start this war, and they are now suffering the consequences. But Putin doesn't care. He didn't care about that. That's just the way he is. He's been in power now, and he's there for life. I think he's been in power now for about, it's got to be 25 years. And during that time, he's had I don't know how many conflicts, but 20 years of that he's been at war. He's Georgia and Azerbaijan and Chechnya and of course helping the Syrians and using chemical weapons, and of course then the attacks here in England with chemical weapons, which he got away with, quite extraordinary. He's an evil man, but he's also extremely clever. And this Donald Trump saying he's peace in 48 hours never would have happened under him, of course, is just a load of rubbish. And Trump is a great talker, but sometimes you got to walk the walk as well as talk the talk. And he's not to blame for anything, by the way, Donald Trump. He's blameless. He's an extraordinary individual, quite extraordinary. And his family are getting richer by the day, by the way. And this Board of Peace thing, which is very, very worrying to me. And I don't understand what's going on there. And you're just as advanced and as clever as me, or in a lot of cases you're much smarter than me. What do you think about it? To my American colleagues in particular, he's going to give 10 million of your money. Or is it 10 billion? I think it's 10 billion of American money, just like that. What's 10 billion in today's world? Nothing, is it? Unbelievable. What's happening now? I just noticed an article here that really makes my blood boil, and you know how I feel about the church anyway. The Bishop of Lincoln has been arrested on suspicion of sexual assault, according to police. Lincolnshire police confirmed the 68-year-old was arrested as part of an ongoing investigation. This comes after the Church of England said the Right Reverend Stephen Conway, member of the House of Lords apparently, the bishop has been released on condition of bail, and the Guardian has attempted to comment, but nothing's been said. No details of the complaint were given. Disgusting. They should not be allowed into the House of Lords. And I'm saying that right across the board. Well, you know how I feel about the House of Lords. £324 a day, or whatever it is, expenses. Wouldn't you like that, ladies and gentlemen? I'd fucking like it. A day, not a week, a day. So they turn up, sleep off for half an hour, go on a nice meal at their canteen, which is subsidised by the UK taxpayer, and then they go home and they've earned 324 quid. What a fucking doddle. What a disgraceful individual. And, you know how I feel about religion anyway. Having been brought up in the High Church of England, remember, I believe in the Holy Catholic Church, not the Roman Catholic Church, because that's the difference between Church of England and the Catholic Church. And that was because of Henry VIII. We won't go into that. Thames Water. You are a fucking disgrace. Thames Water has been accused of displaying contempt for its customers after the cash-strapped company spent millions on a row of bronze toilets. They don't work. The non-functioning toilets, designed by Richard Wentworth, the sculptor, have appeared outside Thames Water London's office in Vauxhall. They form part of a £3 million project commissioned by Thames Water. And this is Thames Water, who, by the way, are in debt of, cop this, £20 billion. The supplier has recently been seeking permission from its creditors to take on further debt, but they can still spend £3 million on these fucking... Look at them, they are fucking disgusting, horrible, despicable, and how fucking... These people living in these fucking glass houses, they have no idea what's going on in the rest of the world. And the amount of pollution being poured into our rivers and seas by these big water companies is absolutely appalling. Last year, Thames received 1 star for its shitty environmental agency in its annual assessment. England's discharged sewage into the south of England's rivers for 298,081 hours. As you heard correctly, in May 24, the Thames was hit with a record 104 million fine for failure to raise the sewage bill. They can't afford the fucking fine. They're in debt up to their ears, and British taxpayers are going to have to bail them out. Thames Water, Anglian Water, the whole fucking lot of them. You're all an absolute disgrace. Shame on you. Shame on this government for letting them get away with it. And a shame on these governments that do nothing about anything that's really important to you and I. The British taxpayer, the British ratepayers who are paying for all these things, including those illegal migrants who are getting it all free. It's disgusting. Anyway, I've got too much I could talk about. I could talk for an hour or so on this rant today. Anyway, it's Saturday afternoon, just coming up to 3 o'clock. I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Bye.